Hi everybody, good evening. Welcome to this session, Spirituality Made Simple with Sanjeev and Saurabh. And as we all know that we are always there every week, every Sunday at 5:30 p.m. live on YouTube, Live Coach Sanjeev, to answer all your questions. So you're most welcome to join us. Anybody who wants to join us live on YouTube and have a question and discuss with us. Hi Saurabh, nice to have you here. Saurabh, am I audible? Hi Saurabh.
Saurabh's not me.
Hi Sanjeev, can you hear me?
I can hear you now perfectly fine.
Perfect.
How are you?
All right, awesome. I am great. I have had a wonderful week where electronics has been not been my true friend. For some reason, they have been playing games. Maybe that's the friend they're trying to be.
Electronics saying that we loved with you in Masuri. Why have you come back to Delhi?
Probably. That's probably it.
Yeah. So
So, how
Saurabh,
have you been? And we have had a very interesting week this week with a
you
lot of very interesting insights.
yeah, so as I came to Delhi yesterday, I was feeling so better. And today it's looking that I was somewhere into a little warm place.
Hmm.
While being exactly at the topic of cancer, uh, it's a place which is like warmer than this place in winters, and summers are little pleasant than this place. So I admired, and when I'm here today morning, once I thought, यार थोड़ा ठंड लग रही है यहाँ पे ज्यादा. But immediately, as we were discussing yesterday and throughout the week about the emotions, I said, अरे यार ठंड मुझे मजा आ रहा है. And the moment I said this, doctor, it made huge difference to everything.
Awesome. Very nice.
Yeah,
That is the way it should be. Perfect.
perfect. So, doctor, over to you. How do we start? And what's the question for the day?
So, feeling and emotions. Feelings and emotions are, as per the Mandukya Upanishad, unreal. Anything that we experience in life is completely equivalent to a dream, which is why in psychology also they say that a child may emulate a behavior because of what they see on a movie or in a TV show rather than seeing it in real life and imagine it to be to be real. And this is picked up, of course, like I said, from the Mandukya Upanishad, where whatever is happening now, whatever we see, whatever we get through our five inputs, is something that's already happened in the past. My voice leaving my mouth is already a past tense because by the time the voice leaves, the word is completed in the mind and it doesn't exist in my vocabulary or my space anymore. By the time it reaches the other person, like it's reaching all of you now, it is basically a recorded message that's reached you, and you accept that recorded message to be in the present. And to bring it all together, what does that mean for us spiritually in the simplest format? Don't take anything seriously because it's nothing more than a dream.
It's nothing more than a dream. Wonderful, wonderful. Doctor, I have a question from one of the person. The person says that I'm in the corporate world, and these days working online, work from home, huge expectations
Mhm.
happening. Earlier, we had some time when we used to reach to office and come back. The work was over. Now it's like morning till evening. Now they're saying, how do you suggest to control our emotions? On one side, this statement was, we are unable to meet anybody, we are alone. Okay. On the other side, so much of work pressure, how to manage the emotion.
Okay. So let's start with you. What's your take on it? And then I will give my share.
On a lighter note, छोड़ दो ना यार. काम नहीं बोल रहा हूँ मैं, बाय द वे. ऑन अ लाइटर नोट, मैं काम नहीं बोल रहा हूँ, मैं बोल रहा हूँ टेंशन छोड़ दो ना यार.
Absolutely.
Yes. My take is very simple. It's not about the time from morning till evening. It's neither about higher expectation of a manager. If you were able to fulfill everything from during your physical presence in your office hours, maybe 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours, whatever you have been working, you can still do that. While I have interacted with a lot of other people, those who have connected with me personally, they have shared somehow, not directly, but when I was probing them further, I got to know, doctor, very clear understanding that while it's work from home, one is not working for complete hours. There's a lot of space they're wasting for other things.
Right.
Because nobody's watching, so काम online आपने लगा रखा है, but you are maybe out for a call, or maybe someone shared a lovely thing. बीच बीच में ना मैं अपना उसको लगा कर ना मैं अपना खाना बनाने लगता हूँ. Now, I cannot comment that everybody does that, no. But yes, what I would say is that work from home is only an extra work hour. Probably need to check, has your efficiency gone down? If you are good efficient enough in those 8 to 10 hours when you are physically doing that thing. An interesting point, one more point, even your physical presence, none of us, and mostly hardly any employee, work 9 to 5. They do take approximately 15 to 20% of the day working hours as their relaxation time.
Right.
Go out, have a fag, bio break, XYZ, coffee break. Okay.
Yeah.
So while one was able to completely work in that duration, what's that they are unable to do from home? I will keep it simple. Recheck yourself. Are you putting it complete efforts and then saying I'm working too much? Then my answer would be a little different. My point of making it simple would be different. But first, simplicity may check. If you say yes, then doctor, simple. You need to check the emotions of your manager. What has happened? Why your manager, he or she is after your life. That's it. That's what I would say, doctor.
So brilliant suggestions, life coach Sanjeev. And here's why my take and what I tell my clients. When you were working, your office decided your schedule. Now you need to grow up and decide your own schedule.
Yeah.
And when you start doing that, 80% of people realize of how much time they've been wasting on a daily basis. And when they do that, of course, efficiencies come up automatically because you'll be like, "Is time ka aapne kya kiya?" Oh, I don't know. You have to know, because leaving out, for a second, let's leave out the fact that this is all Maya and it's not real and all that stuff. We still have to live here. We still have to exist here. We still have to thrive here.
Yeah.
And we have to evolve here. So the number one thing that any spiritual book tells you is that unless you have a pattern in life, you can't succeed.
Okay.
Why would you get married early in life? Does anybody know that? It's because you don't have to think about love and finding a companion when you're in a career. That's already done. That part of your life is taken care of. You already have a set pattern. Family creates a pattern for you. So there was a very important role that all these events played. Your wife or your husband play that very important role in your life where they actually help you structure somewhere. The number one goal is to create boredom, which is what we call, because "Arey, wahi same life har roz." That same life har roz is the only reason you are able to thrive in your career, be it as a mother, or be it as a father, be it as a manager, or be it as a CEO. If you look at Mark Zuckerberg, if you look at Steve Jobs, have you seen their wardrobe? It was a single wardrobe. They don't wake up in the morning and think आज क्या पहनना है. वो चार टी शर्ट हैं, वो चार ट्राउजर्स हैं, वो ज्वाइन करो, पहनो, and you're done.
And standard white shirt.
Exactly. So pick anything. Pick four things that it's like starting in the morning. When you start creating patterns in how your morning routine is going to be, how your afternoon routine is going to be, it reduces stress on your body, on your mind, which means your mind and body are focused towards your goals. Which I said again, it could be taking care of your child and making your child the best, the most genius or whatever, or it could be running a company. Doesn't matter. That purpose is only served when the mundane things, which is आज lunch में क्या खाना है, dinner में, are already pre-decided. We don't eat, don't live to eat to live. So there are multiple examples that we can go on, but the simple answer to that is, and it's in all our spiritual books, you have to have a routine, you have to follow it, no matter what. Doesn't अरे यार आज तो उसने बुला लिया पार्टी में तो कल सुबह 5 बजे लेट जाएंगे, नहीं. I go out myself, but I'm up at 5 in the morning and walking no matter what. It is my fault that I went out and stayed out late, but I'm not going to compromise on my routine on that. And that makes life simple, easy. So once that's happened, and you have a set routine, and your time is now created, and you see, okay, at this time, what can you do better? Because I see, and this is, correct me, Sanjeev, if I'm wrong, managers and CEOs are looking for one thing: somebody who's going to stand up and get counted beyond the work that they have been allotted. And that can only happen when we have time on our hands. Once you do that, you are able to uh, do more than what you were allotted. The second question that they had was about, what you ended with, a bad manager, worrisome manager. इसका एक बहुत अच्छा एग्जाम्पल है. If you give me 5 minutes, I can talk about it. इसका एग्जाम्पल है in Mahabharat, when the Pandavas are in the Agyatwas. Yudhishthir is an advisor for one of the kings, and he tells the king that your son is not so smart, and the king slaps him hard. He tells him, boss, who's the king? I am the king. I am always right. I don't care what your wisdom has to say. So instead of trying to fight with the boss and create conflict, because we do that, no, we are like, अच्छा हम तो सबसे smart हैं. Let me show who is the smartest person. और किसको दिखाते हैं? भाई जो हमारे ऊपर है, मैनेजर. क्योंकि हमें क्या लगता है, कंपनी हमारे पैसे दे रही है, मैनेजर नहीं पे कर रहा. And this is the biggest wrong notion that we have. The manager is enabling your salary.
Yeah.
If the manager does not need you, your salary won't come. When we
Yeah.
realize that, and we stop circumventing and finding ways to kind of put the manager down and promote ourselves, things become much easier. And I promise you, as long as you make your manager look good, in the short term, they may take advantage, but in a few months or a year, they will start seeing your value completely. So don't devalue it, it happens. So these are my thoughts. Sorry, I went a little long on this.
Saurabh, you're absolutely, I would say, appropriate. I would really share one of the recent example which I heard, which you just shared.
Hmm.
One of the person working great within an organization, performing good, once shared to the boss,
Hmm.
to the to not the matlab not, I'm not saying to the managing director, but to the boss,
Hmm.
कि MD doesn't know company कैसे चलाते हैं. Just what you shared the live example, कि managing director doesn't know company चलाते कैसे हैं.
Hmm.
Because as he was handling almost the total factory, he took it that I know how to run the factory,
Huh.
or I know how to run the business. And this message was received by the MD. And very next day,
Hmm.
MD asked him out. MD said, "Thank you very much. You're doing great. I'm fine.
Huh.
But one who doesn't understand the law of the universe, and who doesn't even understand how to communicate something to somebody, okay, how to pass the message, how to do it, you're good for nothing. You are rather a spoiler from our organization."
Hmm.
So, sort of, that's lovely example you gave from Mahabharat. I would also like to add one more point out here before I'll take 1 more minute. I would say this is what your doctor you just shared is the law of order. You should have your order in your life. That's
Hmm.
a universal law. I would also say check within yourself. Are you doing the right job? Out of the eightfold path of real success, the first step is right understanding.
Hmm.
I would suggest check your understanding. Are you doing the right job? Are you into the job which you should be enjoying it passionately? Because
Hmm.
spirituality made simple is not a platform about knowledge, it's not about ज्ञान, it's about simplicity. I say अगर कोई काम ऐसा है जिसको आप efficiently खत्म नहीं कर पा रहे हो, या कोई काम ऐसा है जिसमें आप mentally और physically थक रहे हो, परेशान हो रहे हो,
Hmm.
okay, simplicity says you're not at the right place. You're doing something for the sake of doing, you're not into it. महाभारत की लाइन ही बताता हूँ, जो लाइन कहती है, कर्मण्यवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्म फल हेतुर्भुर्माते संगोऽस्त्व कर्मणि. This line very clearly says you should be into your job. कर्म करे जा.
Hmm.
और कर्म आप वही करोगे जिसमें आपको पैशन है, जिसमें मजा आ रहा है.
Correct. Absolutely.
And I can only connect this with one of the example again. One house lady says कि मेरे को ना परेशान कर रखा घर वालों ने, खाना 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 बनाने को बोलते हैं, सारे
Hmm.
दिन बोलते हैं ये बनाओ वो बनाओ. एंड आई आस्क्ड हर, ये बताओ पूरी फैमिली में किसको जानते हो जिसको जिसको बहुत से लोग बोलते हैं उसके घर वाले खाना बनाने को वो बहुत पैशनेटली बनाते रहते हैं. शी सेज माय मॉम.
Hmm.
Man, differentiate yourself with your mom. Your mom was passionate about cooking, you are not. So
Hmm.
at least get away from cooking so that your expectation setting is correct on the correct platform. That's so simple.
Absolutely. And as we're going on this, because so I'm going to connect it back to our emotions and everything. So
Yeah.
realize that this is not just to do with work emotions, it's actually do with any emotions that you have in life. Which whatever we're talking about, so we took an example of a boss and being nice to a boss. The same thing goes for your parents when you're at
Yeah.
home, or
Yeah.
goes to your spouse when you're at home, or goes to whoever the when the patriarch, what they call, will be like, oh my god, patriarch matlab man. No, whoever runs the household is a patriarch,
Yeah.
and they are the ones. No? So you have to show the respect there. So you do it within a women's parenting group. See who's the one who's the admin who's running it. You can't go against them. You have to be working with them. It's extremely important. What happens when you do this is friction reduces. When friction reduces, emotions don't come up. The negative emotions don't come up. The positive, joyous state of living comes up. And adding to this is, while I understand, I get the whole fact of enjoy what you're doing, do what you enjoy. There is a caveat to that I would add is that everything in life is not going to be exactly what you enjoy, because We live with a monkey mind.
Mhm.
We have to train the monkey mind. मन क्या बोलेगा, अरे अब तो मैं सो रहा हूँ, अरे यार क्या करना है, सो रहा हूँ. That is not true. That is not what you truly desire. That is your mind playing tricks on you. And we talked about this yesterday, where Sanjeev had gotten a great example of where we are, where we bring in our thoughts based on what we have heard or learned or trained on, and they're not real thoughts.
Yeah.
So this whole deal about, and brilliant example, zindagi na milegi dobara, repetition off into oh, I am going on a vacation now because this was, you got to realize that this lady Katrina Kaif in the movie, she actually had planned her life like that. It didn't happen overnight. And I'm sure after 2 days he'll be like, oh shit, I'm missing my stockbroking, because he enjoyed it. His friends may not realize it, his friends did not see it, but he really enjoyed it. And this is where you have to be very careful. Do you not enjoy it?
Or
Or is somebody training you to say, अरे यार ये तो बड़ा बोरिंग काम है. जिनके लिए काम बोरिंग होता है उनके लिए बोरिंग है, पर आपके लिए हो सकता है बहुत मजेदार हो. जैसे अब बचपन में आई यूज्ड टू क्लीन द वीसीआर हेड्स एंड पीपल से दिस इज वेरी बोरिंग. I was excited with it. For me, it was fun. I was never bored. I can sit and watch pictures of great pictures taken by great people, and people are like, ये क्या बकवास है फोटो, क्या लो दूसरे लोगों की फोटोज देख रहा है. And I just enjoy the way that they created a whole world with a picture. So it totally depends on you. When you are things like यार नींद आ रही है, अभी सोना है, काम करने का मन नहीं है. एक बहुत अच्छी चीज मुझे बताई गई थी उसके बारे में कि when you're passionate about something, you can get never get tired of it. If you're getting tired, that means you were never passionate.
yeah.
Okay. And what do you do in that situation? Do you leave it? No. You work hard to build the passion. So look at what you're doing, work wise, parent wise, mother wise, father wise, CEO wise, MD wise, manager wise, trainee wise. Why are you doing what you're doing? Can you find passion in it? You absolutely can, if you follow what we've been saying for the last 6 days and what we talked about from the perspective of creating, make everything else around you boring. Make this your focus and you will see the passion gets driven. तो ये नहीं है कि अच्छा अब कल हम नौकरी छोड़ के हमारे हमने तो वही करना है भाई, हमारा पैशन है. So Sanjeev and me, who what we are doing right now, it took us a while to start falling in love with it. It's not, and I'm sure sometimes we also feel like saying, oh yaar ye kya kar rahe hain. So even though we love what we're doing, it has its ups and downs. It has its spaces. We meet with the same kind of people that the question you just raised. And it's a beautiful question because it's like it encompasses every single thing related to emotions. Bring it back, all of this. Whenever your emotions go extreme, it's a red light, good or bad. And it needs to be balanced. मतलब ऐसे होने चाहिए इमोशंस चल रहे हैं, अच्छा हो रहा है, अच्छा चल रहा है, खराब हो रहा है, खराब चल रहा है. जो कृष्ण जी ने अर्जुन से कहा था कि भैया तीर चलाओ, तुम फिक्र मत करो, कर्म करो. पर कर्म को जब अर्जुन तीर ऐसे निकाल के यूं मारता था, वो खींच का जो जो खींचता था ना उसकी आवाज, उसमें उसको पैशन मिलता था.
Yeah.
और कितना बोरिंग काम है, अरे यार तीर निकालो खींचो मारो, तीर
Or
निकालो खींचो मारो. बोर नहीं हो जाता वो बिल्कुल. तेंदुलकर बोर हो जाता, अरे यार हर रोज जाके बैटिंग करनी है, अरे यार सेंचुरी मारनी है यार, क्या यार मार ली 10, 20, 50, 100 मारता गया वो तो. Think of it. It was boring. And one more example I'm going to put in. Suddenly, all these downloads are coming. Bruce Lee said, I am not afraid of the person who can do many things. I am afraid of the person who does one thing all the time.
yes.
Because you become a perfectionist in that.
Yes.
Nobody can beat you. You are that person. And कोई आपसे पूछेगा कि अरे यार ये इसमें क्या करना है, आप 10 तरीके बता दो कैसे करने के, भी सोचेंगे यार इतने से काम के 10 तरीके भी होते हैं. This is where the magic happens. This is what happens when you take the emotions out of it and you focus, focus, focus. Back to you, Sanjeev.
Awesome. Awesome. Lovely explanation. And with your point, there was another question, Saurabh, which is almost related to what you just shared. Arjun example. Now, one person asked, ki nowadays, parents are too much bogging their children
Hmm.
to be very, very looking good in front of the relatives.
Hmm.
Now this person specially highlighted, आप
Hmm.
लोग महाभारत की इतनी बात बताते हो, तो महाभारत में कृष्ण ने अर्जुन को बोला सामने वाला जो इस समय है, जिस आपके जो कर्तव्य के हिसाब से, वो आपके ताऊ भाई ये नहीं है, दे आर नॉट योर रिलेटिव्स, दे आर जस्ट अ पर्सन इन फ्रंट ऑफ यू विद whom you have to fight for dharma.
Hmm.
बोले similarly, why are we being forced when we are not able to connect with somebody?
Hmm.
Why are we being forced for maintaining that relationship? और जबरदस्ती सामने बैठो, हाय हेलो करो, ये करो. That was a lovely question. So I would want you to connect this immediately with this similar fact, because you have been talking out of so many questions. This question connected immediately.
Perfect. So, answer to this is, why can't you connect?
Hmm.
We speak in oneness, no?
Hmm.
So the person in front of us is part of us. And whenever we fail to connect with a person, it is something within us that we don't like. So I would do two things. One, spend time finding things about the person that you may like rather than focusing things that you don't like.
Hmm.
And whatever you don't like, look at it where you are doing exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
बिकॉज यहाँ तो बड़ा आसान है यार, अच्छा हमारे तो वी आर ऑन द हायर लेवल, सो हम तो भाई महान हैं, हम चूज कर रहे हैं कि हमें उनसे नहीं मिलना. आपके साथ भी ऐसा होगा, कर्मा. बट it is just what has happened to you, what we talked about. You trained yourself to believe you don't like the person.
Yeah.
Not the truth, because there is nobody in this world that you cannot enjoy it with if you give time.
So my wonderful Saurabh, what you shared and my understanding is absolutely on this similar platform. I say my thought would be कि पहला जो आपने बोला कि check why don't you like that person, whether it is a relative or a friend or anybody, whatever. Second, what stops you from being into the moment? If you are into the moment and you are there and you are getting an opportunity to just be there and face it rather than running away from it. Okay. So it's like जो हम बोलते हैं ना, be in the here and now. Be in the here and now, and when you are in the here and now, you are totally present at that moment.
Correct.
And once you are present, you don't have to be, you would forget, don't have to be, you will not find those emotions that disturbing you. And you feel connected. And then probably if you're gone from there, stop thinking, stop bothering, getting bothered. Issue is not about that person. Issue is not nothing about. Issue is उस सिचुएशन से बाहर जाने के बाद आप उस पर जितना सोचते हो ना, आपको वो तंग करता है.
और
अगर
आपने
आप
सबसे पहले क्या बोला था? कुछ भी रियल नहीं है.
अनरियल है.
क्यों? जैसे संजीव ने ये कॉन्वर्सेशन शुरू की थी, जाने दो भाई, इसमें कुछ भी सच नहीं है, सब मिथ्या है, सब माया है. आप बोलोगे अरे यार तुम बार बार माया माया करते रहते हो, पर है ही ऐसा. अब हम क्या करें? है ही नहीं कुछ सच. द ओनली रीजन वी होल्ड ऑन टू समथिंग इज व्हाट्स कॉल्ड द ईजीओ.
or I can alternately say ID.
ईजीओ का फुल फॉर्म क्या होगा? इमोशंस गॉन ऑन अ टॉस. नहीं, वो तो ईजीओटी हो गया. इमोशंस गोइंग ऑन, ईजीओ. चलते हुए चल रहे हैं, बस हमने पकड़ के बैठ गए, वी होल्डिंग ऑन टू देम, सो इट्स एन ईगो. बट टू टू रिजॉल्व दिस.
Emotions getting on.
हाँ.
Emotions getting on. इसके आगे एम और लगा देते हैं, इमोशंस गेटिंग ऑन मी. Lovely thing, yeah.
The answer is very simple where it all lies here. Sanjeev has said it, to let it go. How do you let it go? Is by what we've talked about once: acknowledge, allow, accept.
That.
When you listen to something or hear something which you don't like, don't react. Sleep on it for 24 hours. Next day, wake up and see how is this thing that was shared with you. Is it something you like? What parts of it you like? What parts of it you don't like? Go back and tell the person, you told me this, I like this parts and I didn't like this parts. Always start with what you liked. And then say, what I didn't like, can we do it a little differently this way? And one, they will say yes, or two, they will say no. Accept that you don't know every answer. So if they say no, it's okay to go ahead because you can always change it later if things don't work. And if they say okay, then accept the fact that a day before you were working from ego when you found out everything was wrong. So it's really simple to let go of things. It is just up to us. हम सिर्फ सामान उठा उठा के धो रहे हैं और कोई फायदा नहीं। और ये सामान उठाने का फायदा भी नहीं क्योंकि ना आपके इससे मसल्स बढ़ते हैं, इनफैक्ट इससे आपका फैट बढ़ता है, इससे आपका कोलेस्ट्रॉल बढ़ता है, इससे आपका ब्लड प्रेशर बढ़ता है, इसके आपके हार्ट
ये
इश्यूज
क्या
बढ़ते हैं।
बात कर रहे हो सौरभ? इससे अंदर का ईगो बढ़ता है यार, हम सामान उठा रहे हैं। वो मूवी का
बिल्कुल।
गाना था ना, सारी दुनिया का बोझ हम उठाते हैं। कितना सेटिस्फैक्शन मिलता है, सारी दुनिया का बोझ मैं चला रहा हूँ, दुनिया को मैं चला रहा हूँ, घर को मैं चला रहा हूँ, सारी चीजों को।
वो कौन सा गाना था एक और था जिसमें लड़की बोलती है मेरा कुछ सामान तुम्हारे पास है, वो लड़का खुश हो रहा है, ये नहीं ध्यान में आ रहा भैया सारा इमोशनल बैगेज लड़की ने उठा के दे दिया, भाई लो संभालो मेरा इमोशनल बैगेज, संभालो मेरा ईगो, अब देखते हैं क्या होता है।
Saurav, I think that was a lovely insight, and I would say thank you very much for all the audience for sending them so many questions.
Absolutely.
But again, in these 30 minutes to 35 minutes, we can only take few questions. And if any one of you have real powerful question which you feel you must talk to me or talk to Saurabh or you talk to us on this common platform, then you come alive and we will take your question directly, because probably sometimes, as we said, everything is unreal. So for us, we get the question as per the flow and we take any question. So feel free to connect with us, and we welcome you to even come directly on the live chat also. Till then,
Absolutely. Yes, we would love to have you on. So whenever you feel like logging in, do it. We will back tomorrow with our Spirituality Made Simple at the doc.sb account on Instagram. And that's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then with Life Coach Sanjeev on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Please subscribe to those channels so you don't miss our lives every day. Believe me, these lives are changing lives. So you got to be there to change your life forever.
interestingly, just to interfere, you said there has to be a schedule and order. Did you check? We have crossed 1.5 months on this thing, and we are on it every day.
It's not real, no? So I
It's
just don't know.
unreal.
I've forgotten it. It's like a dream.
It's such an unreal. It has happened and it's happening, and that's the only real that it has happened. That's all. Wow. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. Those who missed it, we will post this. This video is available on YouTube on Life Coach Sanjeev, and this will also be available on doc.sv, Saurabh Bedani. Okay, you can see it there also. Feel free, join us whenever you have, and every day we meet for 5 to 12 minutes or 15 minutes, anything at 555.
And also share if you like our backgrounds because we keep on changing it every week just for your entertainment.
Virtual world has given us everything. This is also unreal.
Absolutely.
This is also unreal.
Okay.
Okay.
So, thank you so much, Sanjeev.
Thank you very much. Take care. Bye bye. Namaste. फिर मिलते हैं अगले